over the last few days at the Valley, but it hasn't concerned matters on the pitch. It's been about floodlights. On Thursday night, the Football Association's David Davis called a press conference.
4 people had been arrested at Charlton's ground in South London last night. Their arrest followed damage to electrical equipment connected to the floodlights there. We've provided the police with a list of previous floodlight failures, but they assure us it's too early to link such incidents to this case or to allegations of connections between football and gambling.
3 men, 2 from Malaysia and 1 from Hong Kong, were charged with offences relating to sabotaging floodlights at Charlton Athletic's ground. The incident has been linked to a possible Asian betting scam. Over the last 18 months, 3 Premier League games have been abandoned in the second half because of floodlight failure. First, the opening game at Pride Park was plunged into darkness, with Derby leading Wimbledon 2-1. West Ham fell foul to the problem in their match with Crystal Palace, just seconds after Frank Lampard's equaliser. And Wimbledon against Arsenal was hit as the second half began. In all incidents, bets in England became void. However, in the Far East, as far as betting is concerned, the result stands from where the game ended. And Graham Cowdrey from betting analyst City Index feels the previous floodlight failures may be more than coincidence.
Looking back now with what we found out, one would have to say that the circumstances were unusual. But most importantly, from our perspective and British bookmakers, there was no trend in those games to suggest that anything sort of underhand was happening. Now, what happened overseas, we don't know about, but it is a very strange thing to happen, and I'm sure that it's now in the hands of the FA and the police.
The main problem for Charlton was fixing the lights in time for the Premiership match with Liverpool. The kick-off time was in doubt, but with staff at the Valley working hard to rectify the problems, the game was given the go-ahead for a scheduled 3 o'clock start. Peter Varney is Charlton's managing director.
A significant amount of damage was done, and you would expect that really, because they were trying to hide the devices, and there were 4 separate devices which they planted within our electrical system. The nature of the devices was such that they could switch them off via a remote control unit, and therefore it would have been very difficult for us, 1, to find the problem, and 2, to restore the power in the half an hour that the referee would have required at today's game. And so undoubtedly, if we hadn't have found these devices on Wednesday, the match would have possibly been abandoned at some stage.
None of our people was involved in terms of on the football side. And I think that we must be congratulated for actually finding it out and catching the people, because it does make you wonder about what's gone on before.
Kerbishley will prefer to concentrate on football matters. On Monday night, Charlton beat Wimbledon 2-0, their first clean sheet since the beginning of November, and first victory since October, ending a run of 13 games without a win.
It's been a long time coming, but the performances, in all fairness, have warranted that we was going to win at some stage. I just wish we'd have done it earlier, because the run we've had has caused us tremendous problems.
Monday night also saw the signing of John Barnes. The former England international is seen as a key figure in Charlton's fight to get out of the bottom 3 in Premiership survival.
Well, it just gives us something different to what we've already got. You know, we've got, as most people would agree, lots of commitment, lots of effort, lots of passion, some ability there, which has held us in good stead. But I think John's got other qualities. You know, perhaps he hasn't got the legs that he used to have, and the fitness, if you like, in terms of running around the pitch for 90 minutes, but he certainly gives us a bit of quality on the ball.
Today, Kerbishley's side take on one of Barnes' old clubs, Liverpool, whose run of 5 Premiership wins in 7 games has lifted them to the fringes of the title race, helped by goals from the striking partnership of Owen and Fowler.
In the last couple of weeks, we've had Shearer here, you know, we've had Cole and York, and now we've got Fowler and Owen, you know, and in between that, Hartson. You know, fantastic, and that's what we're here for. You know, if they're on song, then there's not too many people who can stop them.
So Charlton looking to close the gap on their nearest struggling rivals, Everton, who were in FA Cup action. Liverpool looking to continue their push for a top 3 finish and a place among the European big boys. Simon Royce kept Charlton's first clean sheet in 11 games on Monday night. He keeps his place ahead of Sasha Ilic. Just one change to Monday's team, with Paul Konchesky making way for Keith Jones. John Barnes is on the subs bench. Paul Ince was doubtful for this one after picking up a leg injury in England's 2-0 defeat to France, but he's past fit. Michael Owen and Jamie Redknapp also played in that game. Steve Staunton has recovered from a groin strain, so Liverpool unchanged from the team that won at Middlesbrough last weekend. The referee is Mike Reed, your commentator Ian Crocker.
Matteo. Willoughby's in space on the left, and that might be where Matteo is going. Maybe via Staunton. Staunton caught in possession by Pringle, who's done exceptionally well here. Only Hunt is in the middle at the moment, and it won't reach him anyway. But Liverpool was stretched then by Martin Pringle, who's made quite an impact since arriving at Charlton on loan from Benfica. And Charlton captain Kinsella will take this corner. Hunt didn't connect properly, which is a shame for him because that was a pretty decent chance for the Londoners. Hunt allowed a free strike. Liverpool have only taken 14 points from a possible 33 on the road this season. Not that impressive a tally. Been given against Owen. One of the game's liveliest moments so far, as Owen threatened to get away. Mills held him up and was then adjudged to have been pulled back by Michael Owen. Now this could be some burst for Liverpool with McManaman, the first time cross. Robinson got back, credit to him. McManaman finding Fowler into the path of Paul Ince. I think that's going out of the ground, would you believe? It has. From Paul Ince. I bet he found it funny. Charlton have only 20 points this season, which is less than last season's 3 relegated teams had at this stage. Charlton actually topped the table way back in August at the start of the season, as indeed did Liverpool in that month. It's quite easy to top the table in August. Here's Redknapp. He's gone past Redfern, but he's overrun it. And in fact, the free kick has been given, I think. Redknapp then, deflected off the two-man wall. McManaman! Wonderful save from Simon Royce. And Steve McManaman finally produced a serious chance in this game. Jones, Kinsella, Pringle. Oh, Bjornaby made a mess of it. Presents Charlton with a corner. Kinsella's corner, and Robinson's header, and Pringle knocks it over. Closest Charlton have come. It was John Robinson who was horribly unmarked then. Pringle wasn't exactly picked up either. Danny Mills with Charlton's throw here. Flicked on by Pringle for Andy Hunt. And he's got past Carragher, although it deflected off the Liverpool defender in the end. Over for a corner. the second half. Diverted over by Carragher. So it's a Charlton corner. Kinsella goes for the near post. And it was away by Carragher. James eventually gets a fist to it. And Charlton certainly come out of the second half immensely fired up. Hegum's header. And now it's going to be a booking for Paul Ince. We've seen a few of them in his time. Paul Ince caught Kinsella, and we've had 2 quick yellow cards. Andy Hunt now, he's got away here. Oh, he's hooked it over. And what a chance for Charlton. Certainly read that better than Staunton did. It's a very high ball. Mills fancying the long throw. Tyler has moved up from the back. And it's him who got a flick on. And David James plucks it from underneath the crossbar as Martin Pringle latched onto it. Pringle at full stretch. Redknapp now. Hegum making the advance run. Howell got there first, but it's a corner. Wants to get forward, Vegard Hegum. So a Liverpool corner for Jamie Redknapp. Drilled in. And it came to Fowler, and Owen tried his best to steer it towards goal, but the outcome is merely a goal kick. A brief flurry of activity here in the Charlton box. It was heads all the way. John Barnes signed on a free transfer from Newcastle. And what a moment for him here as he comes on for Charlton against the club that he served so superbly across a decade. Neil Redfern is the man who makes way. John Barnes, a Liverpool legend, comes on to face the Reds. Ince. Maybe it's opening up for Liverpool a bit here. Kinsella decides that it won't. Free kick going Charlton's way. Now there was a challenge by Paul Ince, and it's a red card that's been shown. Well, it's all turning a little nasty. And I think it's Jamie Carragher who's been shown the red card. It's a red card for Jamie Carragher, and Liverpool are down to 10 men. Well, this was the incident. Kinsella was challenged by Ince, and that considered to be an elbow from Jamie Carragher. Steve Brown's free kick has picked out Robinson, and his cross, Staunton made the mistake, and it's going to be a goal for Keith Jones. Within seconds of Liverpool going down to 10 men, Keith Jones has pounced, and Charlton's battle for survival is most definitely commencing. Robinson's cross. Liverpool seem to be their own worst enemies here. Staunton's missed kick. did the business in the end. Sure, this Liverpool side must puzzle Gerard Houllier. Redknapp. Still he has it, Redknapp. And now Barnes has it. And Charlton celebrate a second successive Premiership victory. It seems to be going their way at last, after a run of desperate results and even more desperate bad luck for Alan Kirbysley's team. He may have felt he deserved that one, and so did his team. And the Valley applauds Keith Jones, their match winner today, after a mistake from Steve Staunton. And that's what the Charlton fans think of it all.
Has it been a game with violent and nasty tackles and everything? No. But this decision has totally changed the face of the game. And, well, I mean, Mr. Reid, we know he gives bookings everywhere. We would like to talk to him. We would like to have an explanation, and he doesn't give any. Just at his records of bookings, this is the second time we have him. Funny enough, second time we have a booking, we don't know why. We have a sending off, we don't know why, and we lose 1-0. Apart from that, congratulations to Charlton.
All I can say about the sending off is that he was right there. So that's all you can ask from the ref. And I don't think, as I've said on previous occasions, you know, we had the disallowed goal here a couple of weeks ago, and we've had the Vieira situation, and I think that, you know, they only make the decision they see. I don't think there's anything else in that. I think they've got a difficult enough job as it is, and I'm sure the video evidence, either way, will make it even more difficult for them.
Well, it's great to be playing again. I mean, the fact that it's Liverpool is neither here nor there with me, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of friends there, a lot of people, you know, with fond memories of the area. But, you know, after having the year I've had when I haven't played at all in the Premier League, we're playing against Coventry, Everton, it doesn't really matter. I'm just glad to be back playing.
We're grateful for the points. We've been saying all along that it was going to turn around for us, and this is the start of it. And 2 wins on the spin in the Premiership really does give you a lift.